should not say, use me there, use me. God is using me to teach you marriage.
So, my next question is, how do you, and I think we have to also separate it, but let me just ask, how do you, so if you're the one being corrected, or if you're the one on the receiving end of the hard conversation, or you're not the one initiating basically, how do you be in that position of receiving? And I think you already touched on it, like when you said that always know that
It's never going
it's never going to be, yeah. But then can we zone into that? Like, how do you position yourself such that whatever my friend is saying, I'm able to receive it? Or okay, maybe not able, but like, how can we take that position of receiving? Because I think that this is the point where some friendships actually break. Like, because some people don't know how to hear the other person. Some people don't know how to read all the signs of, oh, okay, she's not accusing my person, or she's not attacking my personality, or she's actually talking about herself. Like, how do we be in that position of being able to receive, if we're on the receiving end? And then the other side of it is, how do you, so I think that personally I believe that if you're not willing to have conversations, I think that you don't care about the relationship, because like we already established that truth is necessary, it's important. So how do you also be in that position of, because what most people do is they just bury it, or they just be like, nah, not, I can't deal with this kind of a person, and then the other person will be like, what happened? So how do we, so that's why I said both questions. So how do we be
How do you be on the receiving end?
and how do you also have hard conversations? Like,
how do you be the person initiating?
Yes, to initiate hard conversations. So that's it.
Okay, so for me, my kind of person, I've realized that I have to be practical to receive information. So number one, I had to realize my trauma and my triggers. So I know when I'm trauma responding and when I'm truthfully responding. Meaning, if you're correcting me and it's maybe something, so understand that some of the bad behaviors that I displayed and I may still display, I hope not, but let's be honest, we will still display. Because again, we are ever changing and ever growing, and the deep rooted things that God will keep highlighting one after the other every other year. As you come higher with God, He will highlight another one, meaning you can handle this correction.
Yeah.
You are the place where I can trust to correct you with this person, with your pastor, with your friends, with your mom, with your dad. So for me, one of the first things I had to realize is both of us have very interesting pasts with friendships, with people, with relationships, betrayal, bullying, pain, being talked at. So we had to let ourselves know, right? So she knows she knows my story now, so everything she'll know. So how she speaks to me, yes, she's saying me. And it took, so number one, you have to be vulnerable with the person. You have to let them into, which is very hard to me. Like when I say very hard, I mean gut wrenching, like throat deep cutting, like somebody literally piercing you. Sometimes even now, when she refers to it, I hate it, but it's necessary because she's reminding me, girl, you might be trauma responding right now and you're not even aware, right? And that's what vulnerability does for you. Somebody to hold your hand even when you don't want to be held, but you need to be held. So number one, I had to start realizing that some of the responses I give or some of the characters I have now are coping mechanisms I developed over the years from what had been done to me. So almost like I went through something and I came to a place in my life where I was like, never again will somebody do this to me. So my never again has built certain characters in me that some I'm aware, some I'm not even aware of. Like this shutdown thing came from me. Everybody should just leave me alone because of a certain point in my life that I was at. So when things just feel like it's pulling at me and I'm required to do certain things a certain way, it's just like close shop. Boma has closed up on everybody. But unfortunately, because she knows that part, she would message me. I remember one time she messaged me and she goes, I don't want to believe you are ignoring me because I can see that you just posted on WhatsApp status. And in all honesty, I saw that message and I was like, you know, shele by this. Like, you know, say, worried me at 10 a.m. Like, I was having a very, very, honestly long day and I wasn't lying when I had said I wasn't available to the person, right? Could I have managed it better? Yes, but I just couldn't have cared at that moment because I was already, my head was already hot. Do you see what I'm saying? Based off of my trauma responses. And that's why we say healing is a consistent and constant journey. You will continue to peel the flesh of the wound and allow God go back in there and pour spirit. You know what it means to open healed wound all over again. That is wound that's already feel like you have covered. Someone should peel it open and begin to now pour spirit, pour iodine again. You don't like me. So that's the first thing. Number one, to accept feedback from a person, to be honest, you have to have been vulnerable with the person. A level of self, more like Toby has a part of my life in her hands. She can do with it what she wishes, but I've entrusted it to her. That's why the information that I've told many people, it's not information I even like to remember, is distasteful. But I've given it to her, right? And I've entrusted her with it, which is why I can't trust, because she will have to be really evil to know where I'm coming from, the things that have been done to me, and do the same thing to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, I've told you how this person broke me with their words. I've told you how these people, you know, shamed me, broke me, ridiculed me, shamed me, and basically made me feel like nothing and showed me that I was nothing. So now, if she's correcting me, I don't see ridicule or shame because she has that information. Why? On other days, she has elevated me, supported me, shown me grace, loved me, you know, made sure that the whole world knew, shouted about me from the rooftops. So again, maybe why you don't feel safe with that person is they are always only correcting you. They have never told you when you've done good. They've never celebrated you. So I can't take truth from you if every time it's only correction you have. Are you a correctional facility? Are you juvenile center? You've never told me, girl, you're doing so well, girl. Like, Toby gasses me out sometimes in a way that is disturbing. Like, I don't believe it.
Hello.
Do you understand? And then when I say something, she'll be like, have you seen you? You, when you're helping somebody, they will think it's gold. When it's made of gold. Why? Because in that moment, I believe it with my whole life. Where her already, she's the best. She's the greatest thing after great. Do you understand? So now if she tells me, my dear, this today you don't best. I may not be able to swallow it, but I can believe it. Do you understand? So number one, I've been very vulnerable. I've opened myself up. Number two, she has complimented me. So when she corrects me, it should not be a problem because friendship is not about the good only. So if she's shouted my praises and now she's calling me inside and saying, my sister, before people will call us outside because they now know me and you. This thing, let's fix it. And she's not saying, go and fix it. You're abandoning me. She's saying, let's fix it. This thing is bad for us as people together because also she's in my life. So it will affect her first even before it affects other people. So she's saying, for you and for me, let's fix this. So that no, I don't want somebody to insult you. I don't want to hear it outside. So I've also now created the third thing for me is I've created a confession sort of in my head for myself. So Toby loves me. Toby will never do anything to hurt me. When Toby corrects me, I will not like it. But at the foundation, Toby is trying to make sure that I'm better. When Toby corrects me, it's so that nobody else corrects me. Then I ask myself, who would you rather? Toby or a stranger? Toby or a church member? Toby or a neighbor? Toby or an Instagram person? Toby, would you rather be dragged or would you rather be corrected? Would you rather be which is why sometimes when she passes her, I'm like, Mama, tell me direct because I believe. Do you understand? So it's like I would rather take it from her than anybody else. And this is me breaking down like the process for me, how I'm able to take her feedback. I've been vulnerable. I pray for strength to keep being vulnerable. Even when now I don't want to be vulnerable, she most times knows how to get it out of me because again, we've been around each other enough. I know how to, you know, if I want to waylay I will find my way to do it. Yes, I waylay you there. I find my way. Number one, be vulnerable. Number two, the person has to have been somebody, that's for me, that has been complimenting me, or at least you've told me good things. You're not always coming with only bad. And I'm saying this because I have people that had to lock out of my life because They will never celebrate me. They will never call me out for good things. They always look for something wrong. You are not after my progress. You are consistently looking for my downfall. It means that you're sitting down and waiting for when I do wrong. It's almost like when I do right, you're waiting, she will soon do wrong. When I do wrong, you are quick to prance on me. You're not my friend. There's no way you're my friend. Number three, I have a confusion in my head. So when Toby is literally speaking to me, I'm hearing her, but I'm speaking to myself in my mind as she's speaking to me. So when she says something and I feel like shit, my character, I tell myself, no, she has told me that I'm a good person, I'm a kind person. She has written that I'm a good person, I'm a kind person. So if she's saying this, it's not who I am, it's what I've done. I'm separate from my actions. I'm my choices, I'm not my actions. I might have chosen to do this, might have been like, so literally I'm having internal conversations as she's having a conversation with me. What that does is silences the voices in my head. Number three, most times I record when she's speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't record because I want to go back and go and sit. I'm going to say, when I write, I will go back and be pondering on it and you pick up the negative. Then there's a problem with you internally. If when your friend speaks to you, you are focused on all the ways the word battered you as opposed to how what you've done is not good or bad or how it can be better. So when she speaks to me, I hear, Boma, you did a thing that is not good or you can be better. Why? I know you to be better. As opposed to, Boma, you've done a bad thing and you're a bad person. Perspective. So it's almost like the reason it's paining her is because she knows I can be more. I may not say it, but she's like, you're better than this. This thing you did now, you are better than it. I know you're better than it. So I'm correcting you because don't do it again. That's how I say it. Right? As opposed to, oh, you're a bad person. And I'm saying this because we had an issue where it literally felt like she was calling me something. I literally had to message friends. I called people that know me from past because I was shaking in my house, pouncing everywhere. I was crying. Like, I could not believe it that I'm this person. All of you have been in my life for all these years. And it's what the devil was interpreting, what she had said to me, is actually something that is one of my values, right? Dishonesty. And it's very, like, honesty is a big deal for me. So to say that I lie or I'm dishonest, it was like, from which time? All these years. So I've been liar since. You know, it was very bad. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. And I needed to run for help. Like, I needed to message higher up mentor that, hey, Joy Romilosa, how you know me? Am I like you? Help me. I don't know when I even told her, she was like, the fact that I did not believe her, I had to go to somebody else. People see what I said, made her feel, you feel like, friendship or deep, girl. It's very stressful. I now have to now, so it's like, I first come and say, you are right, oh. I now truly see what you are saying. I did not see that time, oh. Now to start apologizing for how she's not feeling great. That I did not understand where she was coming from. That I had to go to somebody that is it that she's just checking herself that how she said it must have been bad then. If I say my sister no be you from the first line, I don't shut down. The first 3 lines I don't go. So nothing could have written, which is why I also realized that text message resolving of conflicts for me and to be is a terrible idea. It's not okay. Ojukoroju stuff, eye to eye is much of best because I'm reading the messages and I'm interpreting your body language the way me I want. But that is not the body language you're probably writing it. I'm interpreting your facial expressions and your tone and your voice, but that's probably not how you wrote it. So it's better if the relationship is meaningful and it's of interest and the issue is delicate. I always recommend physical conversations. If it can't be physical, video call.
Okay.
Let it not just be voice. Let me see your face. Let me see your emotions. Let me see you emoting. It helps, right? Because with voice, you can be cooking and be talking to me. You can be walking around and I feel like this person is not paying attention to what I'm saying. But if you are on video call, even if you're cooking and you're moving around, I'm seeing that you're paying active attention. Body language is very important to me. I'm a all-in-all communications person. So for me, I actually had to break it down to be able to receive feedback, which is why I said now my recalibrating time is fast. Because now I've broken it down. So I record, I go back and I listen. Because the truth is, most times I can't take in everything at once. That's me. I can't. It's too much for me sometimes to take in at once, depending on the gravity of the correction. So I record or I take down notes. I write. And what that does for me is I go back to those notes every now and then. And I don't write as far I'm bad. I write more like, you need to fix this because of this. You need to do because of, like, I pointed out for myself as, okay, these are the things that I need to work on going forward. These are the things, because again, think about it, in your place of work, they give you your KPI. It has all the things you're
Yeah.
doing right and all the things you're doing wrong. And we don't have a problem when we get KPI. Friendship is an office. It's an office, just like the office of a pastor, office of a prophet, office of your husband. It's an office. And there's returns on it. There is a KPI for it. And so we do this assessment. So we do it sometimes, like, babe, Alpha, we have not assessed in a long time. Where are we? Are we good? Have we progressed on this thing we spoke about 2 months ago? Has it changed? What's the level of growth? Is it slow? Has it been fast? Is it real? Or are we crumbling? I want to quickly change, and you're not really doing the inner work. Are we doing? So we assess ourselves based off of discussions that we have. So that's how it's easier. The more you assess yourself, the more you're growing. And as I said, when you have somebody who is hand in hand with you, it's easy to name. Not somebody that dumps burden and leaves you. When the person is like, so sometimes I will ask her, like, how far this thing I said, am I better? Is it better? Am I this thing? Do you think that I could have? So she's like, it wasn't bad, but I could have done it a better way. I'm like, okay. So now I know I've done good, but I can do better. But if you don't assess, how do I take the next feedback coming? If it's not showing that I'm growing, and let's be honest, when I'm growing and she tells me I'm growing and she's happy about it, I'm in turn happy. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm in turn happy because it's like I'm now doing something right from wrong.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm able to take feedback. I break it down. And first of all, if I can't take feedback from somebody that I've not been vulnerable with, because you don't know me. So I don't know that I can take in. I can't trust. I think that's the way it's trust for me. I can't trust. It's not that I can't take. I can't trust entirely that what you're saying at base level is true. But when it's coming from somebody who knows me, who knows my story, who I've been vulnerable with, who sees me, except spiritual head and maybe Holy Spirit wants to reveal something, so that's a different thing. But in life relationships, vulnerability for me first. I've been vulnerable with the person, they have my information at hand. It means they know me in a way that even me, I may not be able to know or like or see. You know scars, you may not like your scars, but your friends, they're like, what if it then now it's fine. Number two, it has to be somebody who feeds me in the good so that I can trust when you're telling me that I've done wrong. Number three, I take down notes. I record with my phone sometimes so that I can go back and take in the details, because the details are really what matters more than the holistic explanation. Is the things that she's pinpointed to, like the when, the how, the way you said it, the way you just flinch, the way one time we're in church, we're going somewhere, and she shouted my name, she was like, my friend, I'm very sorry. He's like, hey, no, even me, Kako. That would have annoyed me before, and that's why she apologized. Because again, she knows I have a thing with shouting. So it's like, why would you, why? It sets me off when you shout at me. So she knows. But guess what? I've now grown to the point that shouting doesn't get to me again. But I can't say when. I don't know if that makes sense. I can't say this is when shouting stopped getting to me. Even yesterday I was laughing. Somebody shouted at me inside train station. I started laughing. The women beside me and I said, and it don't be no cigar. Oh, she don't yeah, me and this is me before that. I have responses. Don't do that, no nonsense. I'm now more graceful. I'm more patient. Why? I'm also learning. I've learned. I'm growing. So now it's like sometimes she'll be like, Mama, there's no need for that. Like, you don't need to respond. And I've also now learned that actually I don't need to respond. Actually, the world is not fighting me. I'm not in a place where I always have to fight for myself, defend myself. It's okay to just let things go sometimes. I'm not at war. I'm in a place of peace now. I'm not in the midst of wolves any longer. I'm now in a place where we are all sheep and everybody loves me. So when they do bad, it's not intentional. We'll bruise to, scratch ourselves. But it's never that I came to bruise you intentionally. And that was something I had to learn. But I couldn't have learned it if I wasn't her friend and she wasn't coming from my dear, rest your shoulders. I promise you it's okay. Nobody's trying to beat you. Nobody's trying to kill you. Nobody's trying to bully you. Nobody's trying to, you're not in that same space any longer. So it's very, very important for me. Just those things. That's how I'm able to receive. And it's a never-ending journey, Tony, because as we grow, there are some things they will tell you. You think I can now take it. I now have method. If she says it like this, I will do like this. That's why I just said there will never be a time for you like the truth. It's just that you will learn to take it more gracefully. You will learn to trust the person more. You will learn to process more. And sometimes you will cry. I think that's the last thing I want to say. It's okay to emote. Because I remember that one time, I think the first time I cried with Toby was very I was very confused. I'm like, I've never cried for friendship. Like the only cry is like when they do me bad. Do you understand? I've never cried as far one phone. I'm not. I mean, kilo shit. Like 20. I think for like 3 days. I'm like, oh, there's something. Like I can just be cooking in the kitchen or just walking. I'll be like, wait. Let me adjust my head. I really cried. And it was not cry like water was coming out. And I was at work. I had to run to the toilet. When I came out and I told them, I said, my eyes. There's no worry, I'm okay. I can't more Congo module. But I was like, why? So it's okay sometimes to emote. It's okay to let it out. Sometimes Toby takes walks. Toby does this thing when she paces. And she does sounds. When the thing is working, she do. When she's like, she'll bend. His body and voice Toby uses to take in information. Somebody bend, somebody shake. Also, I read her body language. When it feels like it's too much, I stop. I don't keep going because I have so much truth to say. I must say it, finish. So if I'm reading her and I can feel like what I'm saying is becoming too much, she knows it's the truth, but it's just too much for her to take. Where she is in that moment, I stop. She has gotten the message. There's more to be said. Holy Spirit will minister to. I'm not the divine corrector, to be honest. The one is to plant the seed. It's the Holy Spirit that will water it and help her. And the same thing. So for me too, like she said, she looks at me, she will text, are you okay? Are you fine? And she knows me. My partner, I'm okay. Oh. Well, they will even at you. They will even at you. Who told you I'm not okay? No, this is still finished at the call. I believe this is still finished. That is the end of my story. Text Minister Taylor. As I take another sip of my juice.
What am I supposed to say now? I think. So what? So while I was speaking, because I was also like looking through the year, in the area of receiving feedback. So I think I've gotten to the point where I become very self-aware. And one of the things that I've noticed is my facial expression is completely different from what's happening inside me. And because of that, people do not know how to give me feedback because they think that, like, you're looking at me and you're like, I probably look angry like this hard girl, but inside I'm crying. So I've realized that is a thing that can actually hinder people from giving me from giving me feedback. And so what have I done this year? I go look for it. So this year in particular, I have been digging. Like I'm fishing every and anybody because I realized that okay, this person may not know how to give me. So what do? I go and look for it. So something happened on Sunday. So a friend of mine, we had like this thing, and I remember going outside and I was angry to the point of shaking. And so in that moment, I knew that something was up, that okay, for me to react this way, then definitely there's a problem. And so we had a conversation yesterday, and my plan for the conversation was to ask him. So it was a situation of I felt like he wasn't listening to what I was saying to him. And I got very agitated because the more I was seeing it, the more he wasn't hearing. And so at that point, I just got really frustrated. So my plan was, I wanted to know what was it about me that didn't make him listen. Was it the way I said it? Was it my expression? Was it, give me details? Because it was more like, okay, I want to, for you to get me to this point of losing my mind, then that means there's something I need to figure out. And so yesterday we were having a conversation and I asked him, I was like, okay, that just walk me through, like, okay, what was it about what I said that didn't make you listen? And the first thing he said was the attitude that he gave me. And then he said to me, if you had been more gentle if you had appealed to me, which was like street words, I'm like, so that was that was like such like they were words that you were used to, like they were very like you want to toast. Yes, toast. Yes, I should toast you as a conversation. So they were living my dear, bring your voice. So the thing is that the way that you did it, you're so fine. Because I want to know how to do this soft and things. Oh my god. Hey.
I don't really like it.
Actually, that's such a funny feedback.
It's crazy. So I remember
Wow.
that. So even before we started having comments, I was on my bed. In the aspect of your question, I was scared because I knew that I was going to receive something that would pinch me. So I was very uncomfortable, but I knew that I needed it. So I went along to ask him, and he talked about I needed to use the words appeal and gentle, and that was feedback for me because again, like when you haven't been. Let me divert it a bit. So like when you haven't been in a relationship for a long while, somehow you forget what it's like to be female because you're so used to doing things on your own that you don't like, and especially maybe when you have like certain leadership positions and you always have to be the one to say, guys, you have to do this and do this and do this. So you haven't now mastered how to now switch back. Because again, you might be that person who is like an alpha, but then in certain relationships you have to, especially when it's a female and male friendship. Men have ego. Men have ego. So no matter, even if you're equal in the friendship, there's a way you can get to your male friendship by bringing out that feminine side. And that was what
are we learning here?
I learned to finish.
And that was the
Next
literally
YouTube topic, guys.
Our body is not firm.
Sorry.
And so in that moment, because I went ahead to look for feedback, I got that, and it was a case of number. It pinched so, like even till now, I'm thinking, I'm like, so I'm not even mad. Like, cause it got me thinking, but because I know this person again, like,
that's not.
I knew what he was
not
saying.
that,
It was more like, okay, I could have gotten him like this.
Yeah, if
You
you were
are
just
gentle.
gentle.
But it was more like, and he was like, immediately he saw the attitude that he decided in his heart that he's not going to go.
I love it. Boss. Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Can we zero in? I swear this is no, it's not jokes. You know that I love
We're
love.
talking about love.
You like that? I'm looking at you like, you wanna do this? You don't want us to share this friendship?
No.
Because
Wait.
you will call another guest for your love. It's not
Wait, guys.
Come to be. You and Toby can do one thing.
Wait,
Oh
guys.
my gosh.
Just so that I put it out there, we'll record another video on maybe how to be female or how to be in touch with
With
feminine.
another set of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then,
it's
do you know
stuff.
that what she's saying is what causes issues in a lot of marriages? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's not
In a lot of every male and
Every
female,
relationship.
you and your boss,
Yeah.
you and your colleague,
Yes,
you can get them to do your work.
Yes.
As she said it, my brain started, you know, with my dad. I couldn't. Oh my,
And I
this is
feel
a
like-
topic. You're right.
and I feel like I want to start this conversation for so-called feminists or a lot of people.
Who be all those?
Not even feminists. Some people
Sorry.
are actually they don't
Okay.
even know how to actually be in touch with their feminine side again.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
Some people even think that
Yeah.
they are disadvantageous.
yeah.
But that's your advantage. It's like, who likes you?
I'm thinking that
I just want to
it got me thinking that
just
when I
thinking
got to
of
that
going
point,
back.
when I got to that point where I went downstairs and I could have avoided that.
That whole shaking,
Like I was mad. Like even when I was watching, like, why are you so like I was shaking. I was like I
like
was
you
just,
couldn't recognize yourself that angry.
yes. So I'm like that could have been avoided if I literally had just been gentle. And this dude would have followed me. And nothing like that. So it
You
would
could
have
have
avoided.
avoided
Do you understand?
that whole wow.
Do you understand?
And that's like maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour of no
It,
peace.
it ruined my day. My Sunday was literally ruined because from that moment
You were
it was
done.
like I opened the door and bas. So I'm like,
Just cheated yourself for long.
So yeah, so I mean, let's dive back. So it's more like me looking for feedback. So that's how, because I so there's self-awareness now. I know my personality. I know that I'm not, people may not come to me for feedback. Even with Boma, sometimes I'm like, okay, how far she just give me feedback, but most times I want to like, okay, how are we? Because I just know that it's more like, okay, I want to get better, and if nobody would do it, let me go and meet them, because again, maybe they're also waiting for me, or maybe they don't even know how.
Yeah.
So me meeting them would help them. So I mean, for this year, I've done a lot of going to ask, like, okay, is there a way I
Proud
did
of you,
this
girl.
and all of that. So yeah, for me, that's how. And it hasn't been easy because you going, first of all, it requires humility. even if like imagine that you are going to someone that is way younger than you, like you literally have to strip yourself of every
And be ready to hear things.
and yeah, to be ready to hear things. But at the end of the day, you know the goal, that the goal is for me to be better. So it doesn't matter that the person that I'm asking is lower than me,
younger,
or younger than me. What matters is that this person has something that can save my life. So why not go and chase it? So I've been doing a lot of chasing for feedback. Yeah.
I really love that angle.
That last thing you said, I feel like it just hit.
You're shaking. Your leg is pushing. You want to be calm. You want to find your calmness.
It do hit me.
That's not a topic I think I even want to talk on. I want to watch it because male and female.
Honestly, like
because I mean, me, I just started.
Why we now declaring stuff?
No, there's no declaration. But I know we are on behalf of myself and my friends.
On behalf of this community.
All those lover girls.
Yes.
I am a pro lover girl.
And this is the funny thing. She's a very much lover, much of girl, of love. I don't know how to
encapsulate right for you already. Thank you very much.
It's just that Toby's love is that don't take me for a fool. Anyway, she feel like somebody don't respect her like this. I'll tell her wow. Cyrene, so we want. And most times they don't even mean to disrespect your realness. It's just that when you are in fight position, always on guard.
Honestly.
Always on guard.
Always on guard.
Yeah, because for me, the difference from this is why female friendships are tricky is I just started building actual intentional friendships in 2018, 19. The only friend I had before then was my best friend. And even now, looking at our friendship, we're realizing that we weren't building intentional friendships in being core of our friendship. We were just around each other a lot. And we swept a lot of things under the rug. We did a lot of maybe she's. We never really start to talk and dissect.
Can we talk about that? So it was actually going to be my last question. You said a lot. So, and I'm picturing people who don't have this kind of relationship. They don't have the right foundation already. Like they're not at a place where they can even say, oh, let me just take some of the things I've heard and apply it. They're at a very zero, like the foundation was wrong from the very beginning. So how can they move? Like, you know, you touched on it, you said that you and your best friend now, you are realizing that what were we doing there? So how were you guys able to now restart or navigate? Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's such a this question.
It's such a
just happened.
It's like I'm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
This your what's it called, YouTube channel. Now exposing somewhere. Okay. So I'll say this. I met my best friend in 20, and I have to give context so that people understand. I met her in 20. I knew her from like 2010, but we didn't become friends until 2015. Now this is where I'm going. Most times, you know,
you can't help yourself.
Most times, in all honesty, Tony, friendships are never intentional when they start. It's by something, meaning we met in school, we were roommates, we were church members, my mommy's friend's daughter, my friend, we met at a bridal shower, we were colleagues. Like there was a common factor.
Yeah.
And we're in each other's spaces a lot for a period of time. When you're in each other's spaces a lot, it's easy to call the person your friend. You are seeing them, you are going to class together, you are going to buy food. Do you want food? I'm buying food. Should I buy for you? I'm going to the market tomorrow. It's easy because, I mean, on the surface level, you are always talking, but you're not really talking. You're always chatting, but you're not really chatting. So what had happened was, we're roommates, you know, she's my best friend is an introverted introvert, if there's such a thing. Like, I've never, sometimes I'm like, how and why are you the one for me, dear Lord? Oh, stress, I am me, dear. So, when I met her, I had this friendship is tricky. I'm coming from I've been told I'm a lot, I'm this, and that. I don't want to use those words because I'm not those things, right? And this, and that, and this, and that. So I never built any lasting relationship. For me, if I'm with you short period of time, you will not be able to know me enough to tell you nonsense. So let's know small. Hey, bye. And because I know how to play and laugh, a lot of people think they're my friends. So I hear people say, Boma is my friend. no problem. But you may not necessarily be my own friend. That's the truth. And I'm okay with that. It's okay for me to be your friend. You don't have to be my friend. So I wasn't giving of myself internally. I'm very external. That's me. It's very, very hard to be inside my inner circle. Now, with my best friend, when I say she's an introvert, like, and she's very meticulous, like, if she puts a shoe left and left, if you move it left and right, she'll come back and move it back to left and left. That for me is telling me that I'm not accepted in your space. That is my interpretation. Because I can't be in your space and your things will be exactly your things only, which is funny now because apparently I picked those things from her. I don't know why you're laughing.
I was about to say
Somebody asked you. Nobody asked you.
At this point, I want to drink drink.
Which is very funny to me because I feel like kilo day. Somebody cannot put slippers like this. If you want clothes, you should carry it. Now, do I beg you? I want my clothes there on the chair. Leave it. Oh, now look at me. I don't do the same thing. You don't pinch my body when you change things in my space. Anyway, that's what happened. So I've accepted it. I give up. So I had to. We moved out of Lagos. Then I had to move back to Lagos. Then I was living with her for the whole of my master's. So let's say from like 2017, I started staying there. 2018, I came down to Lagos for master's fully, and then I was in her house. Now I had my own space. She had her own space. Now because of this, you know this thing about this is how she is. Everybody in the house has given her her space from mommy. She's an only child, first of all. Start from there. I'm an only child, but we grew up in different realities. She's the proper only child. She has her room. Me, my own only child is just by birth. My parents don't really send me. Yes, now because everybody just enter house when I grew up. I never even knew I was the only child until maybe when everybody started leaving the house and we're now empty nesting. It's now just me when I come home from holiday. That's when I realized, oh shoot, I'm the only one. So now I'm talking to chairs and TV. But growing up, I didn't feel that. But for her, she did. Like it was just her mom, her dad, cousins will come and go, people will visit. But you know when you have a room, you have your space, you have your. She was used to that life. So in school, then our beds were beside each other. You know, so I was used to. Let me give her space. Let me stay in my own space. So what that did subconsciously is, for example, if I open the door, which is what I realized was now the trick, because apparently, so let me give you inside gist. After the first edition that we did with you, she was online.
Yeah.
So apparently she had a lot on her chest, like to her nose. But she did not talk. Me, I was fully aware that she had a lot on her chest. But I had gotten to a point where I was like, I'm not going to be the one to speak this time. You're introverted, but this friendship is two people. I'm not going to be the one on the pulling end all the time. If you really love me, fight for me. I've got to that point. If you love me, fight for me. You can't remain in your comfort zone in friendship. So you're an introvert. You'll be an extrovert sometimes if I'm your friend. I'm an extrovert. I will learn to keep quiet sometimes because you need silence, right? And that's something I also learned with Toby. I knew that already, but I felt we had to. So I know when she's in her serious zone. I know when she's just in I don't really want anybody. I jump on her head. I scatter. I can stress her for like 5 minutes and then I go. I leave her again. And I'm saying even when I'm in her house, so I can leave her in her room almost the whole day because I know that's my friend's space. That's her. It's like a sanctuary for her. I don't go there and just be. I'm an introvert. Accept me how I am. No, it's true because some people say you have to accept me how I am. I can accept you how you are, but there has to be room for me to exist.
Yeah.
Right.
It's two people.
It's two people. It's a relationship. So give me room sometimes. Talk to me sometimes because I want to be talked to. Because if I not leave you and I forget you, don't come and tell me, I will drag your neck. Very good. So for me, it was a case of I felt like I had done a lot of showing up, pulling, trying. Every time I've made a suggestion that fits into my extroverted self, you say, don't bother. So let me give you an example. So my friend, I would say, let's not see a movie. She say, don't worry, let's stay in the house and watch it on the bed on laptop. I really do want to be in a cinema hall. I know there's a laptop and I know there's a bed. But guess what? My own problem is I won't say to her, I do want to go to a movie. I'll be like, well, that's what she wants. That is who she is. So I'll sit down in the bed and watch with her. So what had now happened was I became friends with Toby, and all of a sudden my friend woke up. He now became a safe. Wow, you have forgotten me, your dear best friend. I said no. I just found somebody that likes it. So it was almost like Toby do like some of the things I like. She do go out sometimes. So I would go out to Toby. Since you don't want to go out, you stay inside. But apparently that was bad communication. So now I'm not like, but is that not what you wanted? For me to leave you? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, but you did not tell me. So we not start. I say I cannot be doing feedback here now. What do you want me to run, man? So literally, after your first edition, she sent me maybe 20 something messages. Oh no, typist.
Wow.
I don't know why I have all these writing people.
Typist. What?
Typist and writer. Only voice so for voice notes there. Collect voice notes because I cannot type anything. So she was sending to me, I was sending to her, and she was telling me about how other people who were seeing my status were saying things, and that one just even annoyed me the more because I was like, all of them are evil people. Evil, and that's what I'm going to say. People around friendships need to also be very careful. If you can't protect your friendship, stay out of it.
Yep.
Because what had now happened was she wasn't speaking to me. She was speaking to people who were supposed to be telling her, these things you're telling me, are you typing it to Boma? Are you telling Boma? If she couldn't, they knew me. They knew me. They couldn't message me and say, Boma, how far? What's going on? Like, this thing you're doing, are you aware that it's affecting your friend? So I'll tell them, is she aware that she can talk to me? Because she also needs to be able to speak to me. We are in the friendship. If she's not happy, speak to me. Don't tell me you don't want altercation. We're going to have altercation, and that's okay. So we now had that whole. So I realized that what had happened was the issue wasn't that big in her mind, but because of the people that she had shared it with, they created.
Poisoned.
Thank you very much. They poisoned her mind, and they didn't help the situation. Maybe if you poison, have antidote. They didn't. They just. So it was almost like they left her hanging with so many what ifs, many ideas. So she was building so many ideas in her mind. Now it was a case of I have a different ideology of what I need where I am in my season. We've grown. We're different people since I left her house. I wasn't working when I was there. There was more time I was doing business. Now I'm working. I'm building a brand. She has a son. She's married. The dynamics are way different. So we have to now find a new dynamic to the friendship. It's not that I've forgotten you. It's just, so I started asking her questions. Okay, great. She was like, you've not been to my house. I say, okay, great. But I've come to Good a lot of times. Have you been to my house? They asked me how many times did you live? So it's like, sometimes you can't see that you two, you've not been doing great. You're just seeing how the other person is not there. And I realize this in most of my friendships. I'm a very present person, if I do say so myself. I show up. Like, I can come to your house anytime. It's not hard for me to be in your space. I want to be there for you. So what happens oftentimes is, when I feel like I don't get the same energy, I remove myself entirely. So there's a whole vacuum left. Because I filled up so many spaces when I'm there. So now, because you feel the vacuum, you're coming with the energy of you've left me. You're not asking yourself, if this person was always present, how are they not present now? So first of all, ask yourself if the problem is for you before you come and meet me and say, I left you and whatnot. And so we had to sit down. I had to express myself because I also realized that I wasn't, because I was living, now this is where I'm really going. The dynamic of our friendship was such that because I was living in her house for free, and I felt like her family accepted me, they were feeding me, they were giving me things, I had no right to complain about certain things that I should honestly have complained about. I should have let her know this thing is not right, or I don't like this thing you're doing. I felt like, oh, I beg, just rest, leave it, which is bad because that's not her. She never asked me to be that person. She never asked me to see her. Like, she didn't see herself as my benefactor. So her mom is my mom. We are in the same house. We are equal. And really, her mom, until they drag me the way she drag her picking, her mom is my mommy, truly. She never treated me. That was just me in my head. Imposter syndrome. Like, they are helping me. They are giving me things. Let me keep quiet. Let me not go and talk. So I wasn't being honest. And I wasn't being fair. Because I also had things I swept under the rug that I could have told her, that could have changed her. So now, because when she called me, I was like, it's true. There are days where I drag Toby. I'll tell Toby, I've registered us for this program. If it's with Yana, I'll be like, oh, I beg. She will not come, let me not bother. Do you see? Like, I wasn't giving the same energy to her because the dynamic just felt like she was above me in that way because it was her house. It was her place. We're not equals. So I couldn't have asked for certain things, right?
Do you want to tie it to that? Because, I don't know, can you find a way to tie it with the question? So for certain people that didn't necessarily go through the same experiences that you and Iyanu went through,
right?
How do you rebuild
relationships?
Yes.
So number one,
using that as an example.
Number one, both of you need to get to the place in your minds of equality. Number one, like, you're equal to me, because so for some people is that your friend is richer than you. She comes from a richer background than you. For some people, is that they're working, maybe you don't have a job. For some people, is that she's in school, you're not. Like the dynamics are always different. But one thing I've realized in most friendships is that somebody has something that makes you feel like they have an edge in some way over you. With Toby, it happened. It felt like, because Toby is my leader, right? With church, and also Toby sings in a different way from me. Do you understand? So sometimes it's my head, the devil wants to enter there and it feels like, oh, she's different, oh, she's better, oh, let me leave it. But that's something you have to fight. So number one, you have to be able to have a friend that, my dear, whether you're any more than me or not, I will call you out on your nonsense. And I'll be honest with you. And you that you are any more, that's where you will learn humility, because your body will pinch you to want to respond, and your mind will start telling you, sometimes you can even be friends living with each other. You know, when maybe you're paying more of the bills and I'm not paying more, because I know that in this in Lagos now, a lot of friends are staying together to split house rent and whatnot. That can also happen. So the dynamics will always be different, but the one thing that will not change is, number one, both of you have to have a mindset of equality, come to a place of equality. Number two, I believe that friendships should have a, how do I put it now, anchor. Let's say, how do I put it, people that you can run to. Accountability people. That, and they have to be older. They have to be older, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but for me, I believe that your friendships should have older people, because what that does is they come objectively. Don't run to people that will support you. Don't run to people that know you. So when I have a disagreement with Toby, I don't run to my people that know me, because twice now I've done that and my friends see me for me. They don't see the relationship I have with her. I run to people that know me and know her.
True.
And they love me and they love her, and it's not one above the other.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So they correct me and say, this is not Toby's mindset, or this is how I think Toby thinks. Talk to her. Have you talked to her? Have you asked her? Like, they're coming from a place of, I want you guys to continue to be friends. They're not coming from me, this your friend is not kind, this your friend is not nice, this your friend, what she's doing is bad. Yes. Because when they support you, you can never ever listen to this your friend. It will make you feel like you are correct.
Right.
You can never. You will now even build more. So I'm right, I'm suffering, this person is treating me badly.
I said it.
And you don't need that. You need to be able to see clearly. So number two, have people that your friendship reports to. I think that's how you have people that your friendship reports to. When both of you can't seem to find, you've communicated, you can't find a way out. Have people that your friendship reports to, and let them be people that truly have your best interest at heart. And I think the one that I really wanted to say when you said, how do people, so are you asking, because two things, are you asking for people who want to have intimate friendships, or people who have had friendships that have broken and want to rebuild? Because I feel like they're two separate things. The people who have never had serious friendships, they have a lot of people around them, but they've not pinpointed and said, I want to build with this person, I want to have one-on-one. And there are people who have built, but it has scattered for lack of communication, betrayal, trust, different things. I think it's two separate things.
I think I'm asking for people who might be in a situation with you and Yana.
So
being that
great friends, faded out,
or maybe they might not have faded out. I don't even know. I can't picture to that point. Right. But like they have something great, but it was a case of something was not right. So how do they now
come back
like
together?
Yeah. How do they start incorporating everything we've said?
For me, it was the heart. I had the conversation. My friend let me know everything that was on her heart. I didn't respond that day, on that night. I didn't. I read it. I apologized. I let her know that I thought that what these people said was crap and they didn't help. You know, of course, she would say, no, that's not what they meant. I'm like, guy, let's move on from there. We can have different opinions. But me, I'm sorry. I would never do this if I was in their shoes. And I've never done it. I've had friends that are not even so close, and I tell them, have you, like, I'm always thinking, nobody wakes up that has been your close friend and just changes overnight and just dumps you overnight. There will be a reason. You just need to find that reason. So if you're not coming from that point of view, please stay away from me and my friends, because I'll come for you. I don't joke with my friendships, and it will take a while to forgive, because it's like, I see you as an enemy, to be honest. That's because it's like, why and how? You don't know the history I have with this person. One is, you see what's even, I mean, you saw my WhatsApp status who is living real life on social media? And you carry my WhatsApp status and go and meet somebody that is already dealing and doesn't know how to speak. You're not encouraging her, supporting her, helping her find a way to speak. Oh. So what happened was, if that day didn't happen, my friend would probably have continued to suffer. And me, I'll be here thinking when she's ready, she'll let me know. But you guys could have avoided all of that pain she was going through the moment she expressed herself to you by reaching out to me if she couldn't. If you reach out to me, I'll reach out to her. Break the silence. So people around friends need to do better. How you if you can't help the friend, don't interject. If you don't have anything to say, stay out of it. Because I tell people it's like a relationship. Don't butt in on a man and a woman's issue if you are not trying to help them get to the place of peace and resolve. Don't do it.
I don't even think you can control that. It's more of the friendship. You said be careful with people that
who
are
you
around
speak
you.
to.
Because there are certain people that the devil has placed to scatter.
Sometimes they don't even know.
And they, of course,
and they think they're coming from a good
They don't know.
place.
So it's you that would decide that the people that are going to be around you, you have strategically placed them around you because you know that they have your best interests at heart. So anything that you are doing, you say use.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important to speak to the person always. As opposed to talking to third, fourth, 2.5 party, any party outside of both of you. The only reason that, like marriage, the only reason people go for counseling is when they've tried and it doesn't work. Like maybe husband has talked, wife has talked, it's not working. They'll not say, oh yeah, go and see a counselor, oh yeah, go and see a therapist, oh yeah, go and see a pastor. But if it's something that both of you can talk it out, communicate it out, then there's no need for you to involve other people. Because don't forget, we've said the foundation at the end of the day, the core is that this person loves me, and this person will go any lengths to make sure that I'm okay. My pain is their pain, my joy is their joy. What makes my life, better, great, is what they will consistently be after. So that should always be the bedrock. So for people who have had this kind of relationship and just feels like something has faded, find what faded. Because also, another lesson I learned is that 3 categories. Some friendships are for life. Some friendships are for seasons. Some people are called to be your friend. You are not called to be theirs. Some people are called to be, you are called to be their friends. They will never be yours. I remember one time I was crying to God about this friend that would only always come in when she wanted me to pray. When she was doing, parties or celebrating, I would never be in the invite. She would never invite me for all of these things. But when it's time for prayer, something is happening in her house. Something, my grandma, she will call me, Boma, we'll be on the phone for 1 hour. I'll feel like, hey, we are now friends. Tomorrow like this, we are done again. Once testimony happened like this, she has forgotten me until the next turbulence. And I remember that I was telling God that this person is using me, this person is da. And just asked me, but that's who you're supposed to be in her life.
Come on now.
Like, you're not supposed to be anything. So he asked me, he said, the party she's inviting for, you don't have people inviting for party. Do you even have enough time to go for the parties they're inviting for? So you need to check why this particular one is paying you. I say, that the Holy Ghost. Small cry, I come and cry. You have slapped me, no problem. I've gone. And when the Holy Spirit told me, look in your life, and he listed certain people and he said, be honest, are you their friend? Well, they know your friend. Then I realized I was also guilty. There are people that I haven't given half the attention, the love, the care that they've given to me. As amazing as I am, as great, I have not. There are people that sometimes the way they love me, I don't understand it and I can't necessarily reciprocate or relate, but they've not stopped. They still keep being my friend, they still keep loving me, they still keep pouring into me, but I can't seem to be able to keep the same energy, and it's okay. But you need to know so that there's no strife in your heart. So that you don't also be pouring into vessels that you shouldn't be pouring into. So that you're not also angry when people who are not supposed to pour into you, you want them to pour into you. Because again, this thing about if I do for you, you must do for me. It's not like that. Give or take. So there are friendships I know now in my life that till the day I die, they will be there. In fact, my children, and they will be going there for all the day. But there are also friends in my life that know right now that it's just for the season that I'm in. We'll always be cool, we'll always be fine. It's like colleagues when you leave a place of work.
Yeah.
You guys are never as close as you were, but you still like them. If you see their WhatsApp status, hey, you guys can chat. Sometimes you meet at parties, you will hug like long lost friends. Doesn't mean that you hate them or you're not that friends. But that season literally passed, and it's okay. And I think that that's where a lot of people struggle. Also, another thing I learned is it's okay for me to meet you, and it's okay for me to be your friend. Meet Toby through you, be close with Toby, but not necessarily be as close with you.
Oh yeah.
Because this is something I know a lot of people struggle with. Like, she met her through me. They are now close friends. They are going everywhere together. They are forming, they are forming besties, but they are not forming.
Yeah, actually.
You actually, like, God used you as a channel. So if I were you, what I would be saying to God is, Father, I like what I see with Boma and Toby, and I love that you use me, but I want my own. I want my own. I deserve this kind of friendship. I deserve this kind of sisterhood. I want it too. So when your heart is towards more, I like what I see, I want it, it's easier for you to get, other than they met through me and the source and the Jehovah Jireh that provided the friendship. It should scatter because you are not. I never really understand that part.
This statement reminds me of there was a time I was complaining to my friend that God is using me. God, I don't like it. I feel used by God.
Yeah.
She said that, but wait, who are you, Faith? Are you not supposed to be used? What's your reason? Action. Why were you created? No. When you say vessels of good, what's vessel? What's vessel? It's not for you. No. Why were you created? Why are you feeling like God is using me?
No, who would you rather use, the devil? Or how do you want to use the one? Yeah, God is doing like it. Do you want the devil? Choose it this day.
Since that time, anytime like I'm being used in code, I just humble myself. I say thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding me one.
And the truth is, I've realized that when you allow yourself be happy for the friendship, you gain more from it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain. It's just like they will always see you as a part of who they are.
True.
You might not necessarily be in every moment of their lives, but they would never not recognize you as a person. Special place in that. It's almost like you gave me this good thing.
Yeah.
You're the reason I have this good thing.
You'd always be a part of their
You always
story.
be a part of their story, always be part of their life. So there's no need to feel like you must be in on the friendship. I say they've turned me to the third party. I never understand. Rest. My Igbo people, there's a quality. Rest. So yeah, I just thought to also put that out there, because there may be people feeling, like they were left behind, they were left, and you were not. You are not. You are literally the plan and purpose of God, and God has an intent and intention for you, and He will definitely bring it to pass. It may tarry, it may feel, and sometimes God even does that to check your heart. Because intentional friendship, you can't have that kind of posture. You want a friendship that is genuine, that is true. You can't have a mindset of she left me, he left me. Because your friendship will not always. There are seasons where me and Toby, everybody says you always, but there are seasons where we're not on the high of ourselves like this, where we have to be like, wait, we've not talked in like a week, and there are seasons where it's like marriage, morning we talk, night we talk. I'm serious. So if you have that mindset of, you've now left me, it means that the person has to be consciously, consistently thinking every time, if I don't message Toby, is a problem. I never feel that burden of, I have to message because Toby will feel somehow. I message Toby that, if you feel that way,
Sorry.
but my on your own, because
I do not share that feeling.
sorry, I don't. So I never feel that way. When I message her, when I message her, she responds when she responds. If she responds on time, it's because she's available. If she doesn't, it's because she's not available. I don't begin to think, where is this one now? Who is she talking to? She's gonna. When I see her post her other friends, in fact, our friends have become each other's friends, right? I've seen her write about her friends. I'm like, I mean, when me and this person. In fact, funny story. On Friday, I hosted an event. Her closest friend that they've known forever was there. Me and her were not like best friends at the event. Nobody would know that I've not known her.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dede, my bestie. Shout out to Energy.
Hi, Dede. Shout out to
Yes, great Dede, please. So I met her. She just came to tap me, and the joy, like people looked around like, is he your long lost friend? I was like, I was so happy to see her. We had such a swell time. We just said we stayed till we left. For me, that's like friendship.
Yeah.
That I will meet her friends, and through the stories that she's told, I'm excited to meet them. They're excited to meet me. We become a big family. I hear people have competition during each other's weddings. I'm like, what are people doing up and down, tears? As my friends, all of us, we are all friends, we're all planning together, joy. That's really the beauty of life. That you can have a separate life from me. Doesn't change anything. I can have a separate life from you. It's the same thing in marriage. Your husband is not your all in all. It's Jesus that is the source.
Yeah.
Right? As you're coming together, it's for a purpose, right? And so I just want to encourage, people out there. Number one, position yourself for friendship. What I mean by that is be the kind of friend that you desire. If you're looking for a kind friend, be kind. If you're looking for a friendly, goofy person that actually be that person. Be welcoming, be warm. I think we're saying something on the chat group today. Be warm. Smiling is not necessarily being warm, but the aura around you should be acceptable. You can't be looking for friendship and every day, you're like this, and you say, my kind of people will find me. What? Anyway, we stay there for a long time. Whoa. Only you by you, for you, with you. Let me just tell you. You have to be welcoming, you have to be warm, you have to be open. You also have to be ready to be vulnerable. Tony, a lot of people are not ready to be vulnerable, but they want intimate friendship. I don't know how intimacy and vulnerability is literally the same thing in my head. To be intimate, to be true, to be deep is to be vulnerable. Depth in itself is vulnerability, because it's the things that are hidden deep within. That's vulnerability. So if you're not ready for depth, you're not ready to open your home to the person comes to your house, you are sometimes I'm learning, even with Toby, as much as I want my things from way, the girl will purposely, I feel like sometimes she does intentionally to just help me, like, what? We will learn by force. She will do my ass as she likes, and when I want to talk, she's like, but you're married. She should not say, use me there, use me. God is using me to teach you marriage. So I don't used to complain, though.
Wow.
And my God, when I go to her house too, and I do as I like, and I joke over me sorrow. She said, oh my God, and use me too there. God is using me to teach you how to talk to your husband when you come back from work. Talk to me.
Don't care if you're hearing, though.
I don't have anything to say. Sit with me. I just want to watch film with me. As I'm watching the film, I'll pause it 10 times to talk to her. See, it's like she wants to scream and say, you will learn. All of us using ourselves like this, to be dragging ourselves. So if you're not ready for that kind of level of
relationships, though.
guy, don't bother. Just do superficial. Because I feel like people like deep when they're ready to do the work of deep.